with his velvet voice and fedora tilted just right. A story of grit, glamour, heartbreak, and relentless reinvention. This is Details in Dynamics, the life of Frank Sinatra in minutes. Francis Albert Sinatra was born on December 12, 1915 in Hoboken, the only child of Italian immigrants. His father, Marty, was a boxer and firefighter. Tough, no nonsense. His mother, Dolly, was outspoken, politically active, and the real boss of the family. The Sinatras weren't rich, but they worked hard, and from a young age, Frank learned how to carry himself with pride. He wasn't much of a student. Teachers thought he was lazy. But when he heard Bing Crosby on the radio, something clicked. He realized that singing could be more than just a hobby. It could be a way out. By his teenage years, Sinatra was performing in local clubs and on the radio. He'd lug around a cheap microphone and a small amplifier, singing for anyone who would listen. He studied every great vocalist of the day, Crosby, Armstrong, Billie Holiday, and began developing his own sound, smooth, intimate, and full of emotion. Even then, he had that rare ability to make every lyric feel personal, like he was singing directly to you. In 1935, he joined a group called the Hoboken Four, and together, they won a spot on Major Beau's Amateur Hour, one of the biggest radio shows in America at the time. The prize was a national tour, Sinatra's first real taste of life on the road and the excitement of performing for adoring crowds. But Sinatra wasn't satisfied being part of a group. He knew he had something special. Soon after, he joined Harry James's band, recording his first songs and learning the ropes of the professional music world. His voice started getting noticed, and by 1939, he'd joined Tommy Dorsey's orchestra, one of the most popular big bands in the country. Under Dorsey, Sinatra learned phrasing, breath control, and how to use silence as part of his performance. He studied how Dorsey played the trombone, long, fluid lines, and mimicked that flow with his singing. It was a masterclass in musicianship. But Sinatra wasn't content to stay in someone else's shadow. In 1942, at the height of the swing era, he made the bold decision to go solo. Many thought it was career suicide. Instead, it was the birth of a phenomenon. When Sinatra hit the stage alone, America went wild. Teenage girls, the Bobby Soxers, screamed and fainted at his shows. It was a level of fan hysteria the world had never seen before, years before Elvis or the Beatles. Sinatra's voice was different, soft, vulnerable, emotional. In a time of war, when thousands of American soldiers were overseas, his music became the soundtrack of love and longing back home. Songs like I'll Never Smile Again, All or Nothing at All, and I'll Be Seeing You captured that ache perfectly. But fame can be fickle. After the war, as tastes changed and new stars rose, Sinatra's career stumbled. By the early 1950s, the once golden boy of American music had lost his record deal, his audience, and nearly his voice. His marriage to Ava Gardner, a Hollywood legend in her own right, was fiery and passionate, but it also took a heavy toll on him. Sinatra was drinking heavily, fighting with the press, and sinking into despair. By 1951, he was broke, out of work, and considered washed up. But Frank Sinatra was nothing if not resilient. He clawed his way back, starting with a small but powerful role in the 1953 film, From Here to Eternity. He fought tooth and nail for that part, and when he won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor, the world remembered who he was. Sinatra was back. That Oscar opened every door again. He signed with Capitol Records and teamed up with arranger Nelson Riddle, creating a series of groundbreaking albums that turned popular music into art. Records like In the Wee Small Hours, Songs for Swingin' Lovers, and Only the Lonely weren't just collections of hits. They were emotional journeys. He practically invented the concept album long before the term existed, weaving mood and story through every song. By the late 1950s, Sinatra was untouchable, confident, stylish, and in complete control. He launched Reprise Records, giving himself creative freedom that few artists had ever achieved. It was a bold move that later inspired icons like the Beatles, Prince, and Jay-Z to demand control of their own music. Around that same time came the Rat Pack: Sinatra, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., Joey Bishop, and Peter Lawford. A brotherhood of charisma and chaos that defined the Las Vegas era. They performed outrageous, hilarious, and impossibly cool shows that blended music, comedy, and friendship in a way nobody had seen before. Vegas became their playground, and Sinatra was the king. His political connections also grew. He famously supported John F. Kennedy, using his influence to help JFK's campaign and bringing Hollywood glamour into American politics. But when that friendship soured years later, it showed that even Sinatra, with all his power, wasn't invincible. Still, his music continued to soar. Songs like My Way, Strangers in the Night, New York, New York, and Fly Me to the Moon became global anthems. His voice, confident yet wounded, strong yet tender, carried a kind of honesty that audiences couldn't resist. Every note felt like a confession. As the 1960s turned into the 1970s, pop music changed again. Rock and roll dominated the airwaves, but Sinatra didn't chase trends. He didn't need to. He stayed true to his sound, his style, his way. He retired briefly in 1971, announcing it dramatically at a concert, but the silence didn't last long. 2 years later, he returned with "Old Blue Eyes is Back," reminding everyone that legends don't fade. They simply take a bow and return to the spotlight when the world misses them most. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, Sinatra continued to perform, selling out arenas around the world. Even as his voice aged and grew rougher, his delivery carried a lifetime of emotion. Every lyric, every pause had meaning. When Sinatra sang in his later years, you weren't just hearing a man, you were hearing history. Frank Sinatra passed away on May 14, 1998, at the age of 82. The lights on the Las Vegas Strip dimmed in his honor. Across the world, radios played his songs, and people remembered where they were the first time they heard that voice. That mix of heartbreak, confidence, and swing still echoes through the decades. He inspired artists across every generation: Elvis Presley, Tony Bennett, Bob Dylan, Bono, Lady Gaga, all of them touched by that same magic. The to make emotion sound effortless. His music didn't just define an era, it defined what it meant to feel. Frank Sinatra wasn't perfect. He was complicated, charming, temperamental, and brilliant. He had his flaws, and he never hid them. But that's what made him so human, and so timeless. Maybe that's why his voice still feels like home. Smooth as silk, honest as heartbreak, and eternal as the moonlight he once sang about. Frank Sinatra lived his life his way, unapologetically, passionately, and completely. If you liked this one, then please check out our mini documentary on the life of Bruce Springsteen.